this is where I feel frustrated, is where I just think that it just doesn't make sense to me how women are not being asked out on dates. Like, there are so many beautiful women, like, come on, like, just shoot your shot. But a lot of the things that the guys were telling me, and these were guys from the ages of like 19 to 40, was like, no, we don't want to intimidate a woman. If we see them on the street, like, we'll cross the road so that they feel safe.
I do that.
No, we don't want to come across creepy. True. So I do see that obviously culture has really like removed this from the man, this kind of like the art of the chase. And then that, I think, in effect, is making more men passive.
A lot of this has to do with, of course, feminism, but the hashtag #MeToo movement. The level of awareness on sexual harassment, which is a good thing. The awareness needed to be there.
Yeah.
But there has been such a level of overcorrection, so much to the point that even a man just approaching you on the street is harassment. And the issue what a lot of men see is you can have two guys do the exact same approach. One's harassing her and one is received well. And the only difference is that she sees one as being attractive.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but that's not really fair.
It's
like,
not fair. But for a lot of good men, they're like, okay, well, the only way I'm going to know if you find me attractive is if I approach you. But if I get it wrong and you don't, that's a harassment case. So for a lot of men, it's like, it's not worth the risk.
For every girl that wants to know why guys don't approach them anymore, this is why.
When a girl says she wants a guy to yearn for her, that's for the pretty guys, the cute niggas. Yearning is not for the ugly niggas. That's called harassment. You keep begging and pleading and, oh, I just need you, and just salivating at the mouth and shit. That's harassment. When you're cute, that's yearning. That's, working for it. That's being passionate. Sorry, everybody don't get the same terminology. Motherfucker that's, facially challenged and shit, sometimes it's just, it don't hit the...
She did not just say facially challenged. But you heard it here first, guys. If she's not attracted to you, you are harassing her. If she's attracted to you, you are not. You could both be doing the exact same thing. One of them she's embracing, the other one she's calling the cops. And there's so many different preferences out there, you don't know which one you're gonna be. It already takes enough courage to build up the confidence to ask someone and maybe get rejected. But to not only get rejected, but be called a harasser, that's insane. That's what prevents people from wanting to actually make a move. Now, I know that there are some guys out there that actually will harass and won't take no for an answer. But ladies, if you have this type of mentality, don't be surprised that you don't get approached. We can't read your mind. We don't know which one we are to you. Men, you should still shoot your shot though. You know who you are. Let them be Delulu. Stay triggered, my friends.
Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen. Guys, in the comments, back me up on this. We have told men for years that their masculinity is toxic. Some men, as they got interested in dating, that's literally all they know, is to stay away from women, is to not bother them, and definitely don't approach them. So there is nothing wrong with a woman approaching a man. That shows confidence. And you know what? I don't even know if this stat is true. I didn't do much research into this, but I did see that 86% of women who make the first move end up married. So, I mean, come on, that's pretty good. I mean, I don't even care if that's not even a true statistic. Hell, let's run with that. But guys, back me up in the comments. Say, yeah, you would love that. Or women say, yeah, I made the first move and I'm now engaged, married, whatever. I'm telling you, that's just the way it's got to be. You don't have to like it. I mean, I'm sure guys didn't like when they were being called, when their masculinity, when their whole being was called toxic. They didn't like that. So start making the first move. And again, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like having to make the first move. You could still have a traditional relationship after that. This is just getting you in a damn relationship. And as far as, not liking things, I do things every day that I don't like to do, but it makes me a better person, gets me to my goals. So these are just facts, okay? Women, make the first move.
Women say this all the time. They're like, oh, I don't want to be bothered while I'm walking down the street. I want guys to leave me alone. No, they don't want men to leave them alone. They want the men that they don't find attractive to leave them alone. If a man approaches her who she's attracted to, she will be welcome into that. So
please stop taking advice from men like that and respect women's boundaries. There are even women in his comments explaining that this is not good advice and that we don't want to be approached. This has happened to me loads of times throughout my life, but there have been two more major incidents in the last few weeks, and I'll tell you about them. The first one was when I had a casting in a part of London that I wasn't really familiar with. I actually did a story immediately after it happened because I was so shaken up to put it on TikTok and put the message out, please don't do this to women. Some guy had walked past me, he asked me what the time was. I continued to walk where I had to go, which, as I explained, was to a casting, and he turned around and followed me for 20 minutes. He was very polite, he was very friendly. I don't think he was intending to be creepy at all. We had a very polite chat because who knows if he had a van around the corner. You just don't know, and we feel uncomfortable if you approach us on the street, even in broad daylight, especially if we're by ourselves and no one's around. I could not shake him, and all I was trying to do was to get to work. After he had hugged me twice and said goodbye several times, and I managed to palm him off with one of my model cards, so that he would leave me alone because I know my agency just wouldn't pick up the phone or have any of that because I had warned them. He finally left. I rang my dad because I was so shaken up and thought he might come back. I arrived at my casting visibly upset, had to explain to the photographer what had happened, so felt extremely unprofessional, still had to do the casting because why not? That's what I'm here for, and I've made it this far. The photographer, who explained to me that he also had daughters, then insisted on driving me back to the tube station rather than having me walk. I just wanted to get to work. The second was a couple of weekends ago. I was heading back home, had a birthday, and just to see my parents. It was dark, but it wasn't that late. I had to change stations, so I changed trains. A guy had spotted me on the platform. I could kind of see him like looking at me, and then we got on at the same door and he explained that I was really pretty, and I just said thank you for the compliment. I was really polite, he was really polite. We went our separate ways. I sat somewhere, he went a few aisles down and sat somewhere else. He came back, he sat next to me, he continued to be polite, and I made it very clear that I was not interested, that I had a boyfriend, a house, a dog, all of the above. Continued the conversation, but he didn't move, and he got off at the same stop as me because apparently that's where he lived too. Brilliant. Told him my dad was picking me up, who luckily was already there. He came over to the car and introduced himself to my dad and continued to ask me for my number even though I told him no because he wanted to be friends. Leave us alone!
So I just had a thought. I'm somebody who doesn't get approached in public by men, right? And for the longest time, I wondered, why is that? But it just dawns on me. It's because I'm perfect. Oh, I'm too perfect. Like, just gorgeous and beautiful and all those good things. What do you even say to somebody like me when you see me in public? Somebody so ethereal and otherworldly. Men probably see me in public and think their schizophrenia is acting up. They're hallucinating. Ugh! And before you comment and say anything like, no, it's because you're so big and tall and you don't have any fucking hair and you're kind of masculine looking. Don't. I'm not hearing any of that. I'm dead set on being fucking perfect and unapproachable and unattainable. That's all it is, for real.
Okay, this is a serious question for the guys. I have this conversation with my female friends, I think, like, I'm not even kidding, once a week. So I'm just curious what the real reasoning is behind it. But most of my girlfriends say that whenever they're out, they never get approached by guys, ever. And maybe like one girl in the friend group who does get approached, it's not like she's a total standout from the group. But for some reason, like a specific girl might just like get hit on a lot, I don't know. But not even in a biased way. I think that some of my friends are very, very beautiful. Like, actually, I'm not just saying that to be nice. So it makes me really curious as to why guys don't go up to them. Is it like, one, even if you see an attractive girl, like you're just hanging out with your friends, you don't really care? 2, you're just simply not attracted to her? 3, maybe you like think she's just like in a relationship, or like she's just super standoffish and like bitchy looking, or like in general you just like don't want to deal with any type of rejection. Like, is it the guy's point of view, or is it just like the girls are putting out this weird vibe, or like just guys don't find them attractive? I don't know. But most of my friends like want to meet guys in person, but then they go out and just like nothing really happens. So what is it?
Apologies, I just got out of the shower and I'm looking disheveled, but I think this is a great question, and hopefully I'll be able to elaborate on all of this. from a guy's perspective. Now, number one, with the attractive thing, to be honest, and we're just gonna be straight up honest here, guys will approach anyone from a 4 to a 10. So this idea of being attractive or not, I mean, it obviously helps to be more attractive to get more attention, but I'll tell you straight up from a guy's perspective, if a girl is too conventionally attractive, meaning she looks like every other typical OnlyFans Instagram models, blonde hair, you know, fake lips, just that whole look, off the bat, I can acknowledge objectively that she's attractive, but unfortunately with that look and with that kind of attractiveness, immediately to my mind comes high maintenance, egotistical, bad attitude. All those bad traits that come with those girls come to mind. So 100%, your friend might be beautiful, but because she looks so conventionally beautiful like all these other girls out there, it's actually a negative. I would rather girls have their own style, look beautiful in their own way, as opposed to all these girls trying to look the same because they think that's beautiful. It's more important for a girl to be herself than to be someone she's not. And especially in that aspect, huge detriment for guys. Like, if you go with a whole group of girlfriends, cool. But at some point in the night or whatever, when you're hitting the dance floor, getting drinks or whatever, I'd suggest going in pairs of 2, okay? That's a strategy, because even if a guy's a complete G, no guy is walking up to a table of 10 girls to try to talk to one girl. It's never gonna happen. Just straight up never gonna happen. This goes into what I was gonna say next is, girls, unfortunately, single girls keep girls single. Let me say that again. Single girls keep girls single. I cannot count the amount of times I've approached a girl or talked to a girl and one of the friends is giving the judgmental side eye, the pulling away. Girls, your friends are cock blocking you mad hard. There's always that hater friend that is gonna say no, this, that, and the other thing. And trust me, I'm not even saying that because you know what I mean? I've been rejected 100 times, whatever the case may be. You can legitimately tell when a girl's into it, wants to talk to you, but her one friend is just so, oh babe, come over here. No, she doesn't want to talk to you, this, that, and the other thing, even if your friend's totally into it. So girls, if you have friends like that, you have to deal with that. Single girls are gonna keep girls single. It's unfortunate, okay? Guys will wingman other guys. Girls will do everything they can do to not let their friend hook up with a guy if they're not having fun or they're not getting attention. It's just, it is what it is. You do bring up a very, very good point about the fear of rejection. And to be honest, there's not one guy since a young lad who hasn't been absolutely crushed by girls, you know, making plans on a Friday night for 8 o'clock, the girl texts you at 7:30. Oh, you know what, like, I'm sick, you know, my fucking aunt from New Brunswick, from fucking halfway across the country, decided to come and visit, and there's nothing I can do. I mean, girls, unfortunately, a lot of girls have like screwed each other on the front end because of that type of bullshit. But girls, not to mention with the feminist nonsense, the Me Too movement, I mean, guys are getting yelled at for opening the door for girls. So, I mean, so now you're asking a guy to approach a group of 10 girls to roll the dice to probably get rejected in a catastrophe, ridiculous way. So I mean, at that point, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Factually, the best pickup artists in the entire world go for, it's 1 to 10 ratio, meaning that they're successful or have a positive interaction with 1 out of 10 girls. And these are guys that have studied game, that make money from talking to girls. So the odds are stacked against guys. So I mean, at that particular point, I completely understand why guys are just completely checking out. Like, why wouldn't I just drink with my boys, have a good time, when the other option is, yeah, like, I'm going to approach this girl and then be called all kinds of names and have my like name dragged through social media because I thought a girl was hot and now like she's just pissed at me. Whatever, I don't know what to do about that. But just a tip for you girls, and I think that this will make the biggest difference. Girls, if you see a guy you like at the club, gym, wherever, simple thing, eye contact, smile. That's gonna tell a guy I think you're attractive, or at least that gives a guy the green light to approach you. That's all you gotta do. And girls, if you can't do that, buy a dog, die alone. That's really all I have to say to you.